Okay. So it is basically this. Let me, okay, I have few feedback. Let me cover that also.
Okay.
First thing is regarding respond. No, respond, it is very simple.
Okay.
It basically takes the result object and it has two
Uh, you,
messages. One is,
your screen is not shared.
sure, just give me a second. Is it, are you guys
Yeah,
able to
yeah,
see? Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Respond, it is very simple, straightforward. When you do respond, right, you pass the result object. Whatever is
Yeah.
there in the result object, it will convert that into a proper response and send it back. If everything
Okay.
goes good, we basically use the success message. If something goes wrong, we use the failure message. So
Okay.
our response structure is always like this. There is status, that will be true or false.
Okay.
Message, whatever the message is, say in this case successfully created user, that is wrong. This is address, right? We have not changed
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So please do pay attention to that.
Okay. Sure.
Entity, here will be the actual address object. Address, whatever the address object is, right? Street, uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
and stuff like that.
Actual data.
Now,
Yeah.
in the response, right, we are only passing the address. So we are passing result result dot OK and the address, right? Not validation result dot OK and the address.
Yeah.
Now this object will basically get transformed into this thing. That
Okay.
is all
Got.
the respond is doing. Only thing is,
Got.
if it is successful, it will basically use this message. If it fails, it uses the other message.
Okay. Got it. Yeah.
That's the only thing. That's it.
Okay. Got it. Got it. Yeah. Because in a result, okay, also we are sending some message. Just in, I mean, like. Okay. I think now it is clarified. Got it.
Okay. First thing
Yeah.
is that. Second thing is, see, we should not create all the things in one API folder, because creating the address is not user resource, right? So
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
that, you need to create addresses. So you need to create addresses folder, and in that you need to have folder APIs. In that you can have another folder
Okay.
called queries.
Queries. Yeah. Validations and all. Yeah.
Then you can have validators, and create address will go here. Then get user address will also go here.
Okay.
Then okay, this is done. Then create user address API, that will go here. And then queries, create user address query will go into this. Then create user address query. Why is the to get user address? Okay, get addresses query will go here. Okay, validators, create address validation will go here. Sorry, not that. Go into this one. Are we clear? Similarly,
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
Aadhaar needs to get out of user and it needs to go to Aadhaar.
Sure. We'll do that. We'll do that. Yeah.
Okay. So this is fine. We'll just make sure the thing is working fine. CD function npm run auto test. Okay, what is the problem here?
actually in Autotest that command is not working. In Windows we have to use set in front of it. That's why I have put set there.
Where have you put
That
set?
in that package.json Autotest. That set without that it is not running in some issue is coming in Windows.
Okay. So first thing is let's move to Ubuntu and
Okay.
validation result is already declared, that is in create user API. So let's just fix this. Create validation result is already declared. This one I'll delete. Twenty-seven. Okay, then what is the problem with this? What is this which create user API? Sorry, create user API.
I think what I pushed and your code got merged, I guess.
Okay, I'll do one thing. I'll just revert it back for now.
Okay.
Okay. Remove. Okay. Okay, no, I think same problem. Create API, you have called it twice, I think. Confirm password, mobile. Is mobile needed or okay?
It is not. Yeah.
Okay. Get user Aadhaar card queries. So get user Aadhaar API. Cannot get user Aadhaar query. Why is this not queries? A is caps here. Describe result. Import result. This you were working on this, is it?
Fogtail. It's not imported from Fogtail.
So always remember, never commit code which is not working. Okay, when you run your test cases you will come to know what are the issues. So make sure you guys always run your test cases to see if things are all right or not. Okay, good. So today what we will cover is, we will cover about compose and curry. Okay,
Okay.
so first thing is, let me just go to Ramda.js and let's talk about what compose does. So you let us say I want to do add 1 comma 2, that is let result equal to add 1 comma 2. Then I want to do subtract result or 500 comma result. Okay, let final result equal to this. Okay, so I can basically just put final result over here, right? So the result is add 1 comma 2 is 3, 100 minus result is 97, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Now we can basically, so what is happening is you're running two methods consecutively. You're basically running this method, and the result of this method is passed to this method, and the final result is given out over here, right? So
Yeah.
compose also does the same thing. So let us look at the definition of compose. Ramda.js compose. It basically performs a right to left function composition. The last argument the last argument will be passed as the first argument to the function. Okay, so what it essentially means is I can do compose, okay, subtract 100 comma add 1 to 2, right? If you look at this, the result is 97. So what I have done is 2 is the first argument the compose takes, okay. This 2 is passed to add, 1 is already there, so 2 is passed here. So this will basically give me result 3, and that result is passed to subtract, and subtract will do 100 minus that result, and it will give you 97 as a result.
Okay.
Do you guys understand what compose is?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? So it basically makes it little more easier to read, and it is more functional in nature. Okay, you can basically understand
Okay.
what happens, subtract and subtract. Otherwise, you basically need to write so much piece of code, and it makes a lot of things easier. Okay, you'll understand that as we go forward. Now, the interesting thing that you see over here is add. How can add take one parameter, right? So there is this concept called curry. That is what happened here, and this is a functional programming concept. So what curry basically tells us this: if I basically have add, right, and add takes two parameters. Right now I have given only one parameter. It will wait for us to provide the second parameter. Let us say I give second parameter also. If you see here, the output is 3, correct? But
Yeah.
if I don't give the second parameter, the output is a function.
Function. Yeah.
Okay, what that essentially means is let add 1 equal to this. So I can basically use add 1 to 2. That will give me 3.
Okay.
So what we have done is, let us say I'll use some other method, add 10. Here I'll basically do add 10. So add 10 to 200. So it will basically give 210. So what this guy did is, it returned add basically takes two arguments, right? Add takes first number and a comma b, right?
Yeah.
If, let me just put this guy,
What if we want to add 3 numbers?
but add does not take 3 numbers, right? It only takes 2 numbers.
Okay. Okay.
So I'll explain in a while. So add takes 2 numbers. If I give those 2 numbers, then the result is given.
Yeah.
If I only give one number,
It
then
returns
it
a
returns
function.
a function that basically takes an argument, one argument, okay, and when I call that function with that one argument, it will basically give me the result. This is what curry does. Is this clear?
Yeah.
Error, is that clear?
Yeah, got it.
So now let's look at how do we do this. Let me basically define a function const add one. Sorry, this is not adding one. Just I'm creating one more function. It takes number, first number, second number, comma, SECO second number, and it basically does first number plus second number, right?
Yeah.
Now if I basically do add 1 of 10 comma 2, it will basically give me 12, correct? This is a simple
Correct.
method.
Yeah.
Now if I give only one number, it basically tells it does not know what to do, because the second number
Yeah.
is undefined, so it does not actually know what to do with this.
Yeah.
So in order to solve this, all I need to do is I can basically do r.curry
Correct. Yeah.
and encompass this method with inside curry. If you do this, anyways, this semicolon was a problem. If you encompass this function within curry, that essentially means this becomes a curried function. Now I can do add 10 will give me a function, and to that if I give 2, it will give me result. So now the question is, do you guys understand here what is happening?
Yeah.
So I basically invoked this function
Oh.
that returns one more function, and this is the invocation of the returned function.
Yeah.
Did you guys get it? Error?
Yeah.
Is this clear?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Okay. So now why are we talking about these things? Because this is what we are going to use in order to make our code little bit cleaner. So what we will do is, let us go to our code resource, this is test, forget test, migration is taken care, user, create user API. I'll just go back to the same thing. Okay. So if you look at this, what we have done here is, you are basically calling create user validation. Shouldn't it be validate? Let me look at what you have done. Validation process validate. That's okay. Cool. Create user validation. Now we are calling this, the result of this is passed to this, and then it is executed. So this is basically functional composition, right? So what we can do is, instead of using when result, we can use something called compose result. It is the same thing as compose, except for the fact that it deals with the result object. Okay. So let us look at what happens here. Compose result, I can basically tell, compose result, I told you it is from right to left or bottom to top, right? So compose result, what is the first thing that we need to do? I need to basically tell create user validation, perform this validation, right?
Yeah.
If the validation, once you complete the validation, pass the result to the next function. So I'm going to write the next function here, and in that function I'm going to execute return db.execute new database query. Okay, and here this one will basically be my response, and this is an asynchronous call, so I'll put await, and this response I'm sending back. So I'm going to comment this piece of code right now. So here create validation, we need the data. I told you compose, whatever data you pass to the compose, that is passed to the first function. So I'm going to pass this data to the compose result. That is passed to the first function. The first function is create validation. After that, the data create validation data is passed to this guy, and then that function executes create user query. So now let me do one thing. Let me run the migrations. Let me just close this. Let me first of all run the migration cd function. How do I run the migration? Migration dev. Okay, I have run the migration. Let me go to my Postman. Postman is here. Users are here, right? I'll basically create user 10, 10 password. User must have a role. User must have a status. What is the role? Role, I'll basically give the role as admin. What is status? Status active. Okay, it created the user, right? Now if you look at it, what essentially we did is, instead of using when result, we basically directly called all the function using compose result. Now I'll try to make it little more concise. Instead of these brackets, I will directly call this so that it is more concise. Okay, if you look at it now, what is happening is the first parameter is passed to create validation. If the validation is successful, the next function is executed. In this function we are basically calling db.execute, and finally the result of this db.execute is in response, and that is what we are sending over here. Till now, is it clear?
Yeah.
If that create user validation is failed, like,
now when the create user validation fails, what compose result does is this: if it is successful, only then it will execute the next method. If it is failed, if this particular function fails, that error message is propagated back to response.
the response. Okay.
You understood when result, how it happens,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
If it fails,
Yeah.
the error message is propagated back. Similarly, compose result, whenever there is a failure, let us say I have 5 methods, chained 5 methods. In the third method, if it's the failure, then from there, the next 2 methods are not invoked, and the response, the error message is sent back. So what that essentially means is, let us say I have one more function here to execute. This passed, this failed, this would have got executed, this doesn't execute, sorry, this fails, then error message is returned back, the next function is not invoked.
Yeah. Okay.
Are we clear on this?
Yeah.
So we can make it little more readable. I will not get into all these things. With args is there. With this we can make it even more readable. So I can basically do execute this method with this args. What is the arg? The new query. So you can make it little more readable by using with args. We are basically telling create user validation, perform this validation. I can just call it user validation. And then if this is successful, with args execute the db.execute and pass this argument to this function. Okay, it is just little more readable, but anyways I'll leave it to you guys how you want to do it. So if I basically don't pass password here, it will give the why are we not checking for password? Okay, I'll remove email. User must have email, and if I pass the email, it will execute and you have this data. Okay, is this clear?
Yeah.
Any doubts on this?
No.
Okay, now next thing that we are going to do is we are going to write test cases for your validation. Okay, So API, we will basically take a look at it tomorrow. Right now, we will basically create test cases for the validations. So I go to resources, you go to users. In users, create a folder called validators. Okay. In the validator, we'll create a file, describe, create user validation.js. Okay, unit test. Now describe, create user validation. Now I'm going to tell context. When I provide invalid data, what should happen? Okay. Or I'll not even have this context. Let's say it should mandate name. Okay. So what we will do is we will import the create user validation here. Copy. And I can import that const create user validation require. Okay, I'll remove these functions. Okay, this is there. Now what I can do is validation. I told you it's an asynchronous method, right?
Yeah.
So I can basically use let response equal to await create user validation. Now for this I'll basically give empty data. So it should basically give validation error, correct?
Yeah.
So let's look at this and let us see what is the data that it gives. Console.log and response. So I'll execute this. Let us see if things are all right. So if you look at this, what it returned is, it returned a error object, that is validation error object with these errors. So that essentially means it is proper, right? Now we need to test this out. So what I do is expect. So in order to check this, since it is result object, right? Response. This is a result object, right? In order to remove the content from the result object, there is this helper method called verify result error. You see here, there is helper method called verify result error. So here what we are going to do is, I'm going to tell this guy takes a method. This method will basically get the error message. And where will it get the error message from? It gets the error message from this response. Okay. Now I can check expect the error message dot to include what is the error that I'm expecting for name is mandatory. What was that? Okay, I'll go to that error, create validation. User name should not be empty. Correct? This is the error message you have given. So it expects this error message to be there when name is not provided. Okay. So if I go to our test case, the tested object should be an array. Error, let me see what this error is. Error dot error message, I think. No, error messages. Okay, let me try this. Okay, let me just take a look at what is error. Console.log error. So error is error message. Instead of error messages, it is error message. Okay. So I'll remove this. So we are telling expect the error dot error message to include this error, right? So similarly, I can write the next thing. What is the next validation that is needed? What should it do? It should mandate email, right? It should mandate email. So same thing, except for the fact that it's expecting this error message to be there when email is not provided. Correct?
Yeah.
So let's run this. That also passed. Now it should mandate, it should be a
Password.
valid email, right?
Yeah.
Just
yeah.
not mandate email, it should be a valid email. So it should be a, I'll just copy this so that it is easier. Okay, it should be a valid email. So I basically give email, but email is just A. Then it should basically give the error message. Email should not, it's include email should not, what is the error message? Enter a valid email. This error should be there. Correct? So if you
Yeah.
look at it right now, it is telling it should expect should not be empty. This error is not there. Why is that error not there? Because I have basically passed A over here. So it is not
Yeah.
empty, but we are expecting this error message. Right? So
Yeah.
this test case also passed. What is the next thing? Password, confirm password. You can continue like this, but I
Yeah.
will go ahead and write the positive test case. It should be valid when you provide all data. Right?
Yeah.
So in this case, I will basically copy this, paste it here. So here we will provide all the data. So let us say name equal to user1, email is a@a.com, password is password, then confirm password is password. Now in this case, what should happen? It should be a async method. So I'll just make this async. Okay. So now it is basically telling should be valid when all, not valid mobile number. Okay, we are even having mobile number, is it? Okay. So I'll basically give mobile number also here. Mobile 9741498366. Now it basically failed because it is telling this was an error. So what it means is we are doing verify result error, but this time it was result okay, correct? So
Yeah.
what we need to do is we need to call this verify result okay, because this time we are not expecting error, we are expecting everything to be all right, correct?
Yeah.
But now
Yeah.
I don't need to check anything, because if validation is successful, it doesn't tell anything. It just basically gives result okay, but it doesn't do anything. So if I just do this, it's more than enough,
Okay.
right? All the test cases passed, so your validation is proper. Now let us say tomorrow someone went and deleted this piece of line, okay, for whatever reason. So if you see, email should be empty, this test case failed, right? So you can immediately revert it back and see, make sure that all the test cases passed.
Okay.
Guys, can you just mute your this one? Sorry, there's too much noise here. Okay, till now, do you guys have any doubts?
No.
No.
So today the exercise for you guys is make sure the APIs are in correct folder structures. Make sure you have written validations for all the APIs. That is, remaining two also is there. No, you have done for Aadhaar card. Then you will have to do it for users, user roles also. Finish that.
Yeah.
Make sure you write test cases for all your validations. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, and use that compose result everywhere.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Anything, any questions that you guys have?
Not yet.
No.
Okay, cool guys.
Currently, how many projects are going on, like overall?
There are around 7 or 8 projects that we are executing.
Okay.
Any doubts regarding the session? Because I'll stop recording.
No doubts.
No.
Okay, I'll stop recording.